So I've been keeping a secret. Not the scandal kind, the quiet kind. Been busy building something behind the scenes. Right now, sitting in my empty house, feels like I'm finally ready to say it out loud. For real. This podcast, it's not just a launch. It's a bet. And I'm betting everything. About 6 weeks ago, during one of my early morning walks, it's 5:30, sun was barely up, and a thought dropped in. It's one of those rare life downloads. What if I've been doing this whole business thing backwards? Welcome to the bet. Every journey starts with a choice, and mine is a bet. For 1 year, I'm gambling on energy over strategy. No more forcing and no pushing. Just the courage to show up and see what happens when reality becomes my playground. This isn't a podcast. It's a real-time experiment in the lab of my life. Welcome to the bet. Okay, here's what you're actually listening to. This is a real live business experiment. I am building something from scratch. No marketing plan, no strategic promotion, just pure energy and this microphone. We're about to find out if this actually works. Because for the past, 3 years or so, I have been showing up on Instagram, creating content about confidence and mindset, writing captions I hoped would really resonate. I've been following all the strategies the experts said would work. And look, to be fair, I have met incredible humans there. I have built friendships that have really changed my life, so I would not trade that time for anything. But lately, it's been feeling kind of ick, like I'm trying to hack your attention and panhandle for views and engagement. And despite all that concentrated effort, my actual business hasn't even grown from it. Not in revenue, not in email subscribers, and not in building the deep connections I'm craving. Meanwhile, in the last year and a half, I have created over 170 podcast episodes that almost nobody has heard. That's because they sit behind a paywall where less than 100 people even have access to them. And those people tell me it's the best work I've done. Every single time I record a new memo, it feels like I'm doing exactly what I was put on this planet to do. Every single week, I get messages telling me how valuable those memos have been. That kind of exchange lights me up like nothing else in my business. So, rewind to that morning walk. I'm going through my daily practice, something I've done countless times. It's this very specific process I use to reprogram my identity. I get to the part where I'm programming the belief I love absolutely everything about myself. And I'm really trying to connect with it, trying to feel into it. That's when the voice of truth hit me. Why is the thing you love most about yourself the very thing you're hiding? Why have you been keeping your best work behind a paywall? And why have you been forcing yourself to be a content creator on Instagram while you're hiding the exact work that feels as natural as breathing? Clearly, it was time for an identity shift. So that's what we're doing. For the next year, I'm going to run an experiment. I'm going to stop trying to force my way to success through traditional marketing, and instead, I'm betting everything on pure energetic alignment. No big launch, no promotional plan, just me, the microphone, and the belief that if I create something that comes 100% from my deepest truth, then the right people will absolutely find it. As that comes out of my mouth, yes, I realize how insane that sounds. I am a 54-year-old grown-ass woman who's a full-time clinical professor with a mortgage and a business to run. It's also the start of a new school year. I'm designing a brand new class for our grad students. Plus, I already record 2 episodes of Memo each week. And I'm in the middle of running one of my group coaching programs right now. So there's a part of me screaming, girl, you're crazy. You cannot possibly think that this is the right time to add a podcast to your plate. And it's not. It's actually the worst time. But the voice said yes. Actually, the voice was a bit snarkier because it reminded me we wouldn't even be having this conversation if I had listened last year or even 6 months ago when it told me to go public. So apparently the worst possible time is when we're going to go ahead and do it. And so I'm not kidding when I say I don't have time for experiments that might not work. But what I'm already doing isn't working either. If pure effort and sheer will were going to produce results, I would be sitting here telling you a very different story right now. So let me back up because I want you to know how I got here. This isn't my first time making a bet on myself. 5 years ago, I was stuck, really stuck. The kind of stuck where you're desperate for a change, but nothing you've ever known how to do is working. I was overweight, overstressed, overwhelmed, was waking up every day to a life that felt like it belonged to someone else. So I made myself a deal. For 1 year, I was going to pretend a camera crew was following me around, documenting everything. Every workout, every conversation, every meal, every decision, like my own personal reality show. The idea was simple. If I knew people would eventually watch this documentary of my life, then I would show up differently. And it worked. Not just the weight loss, although I lost over 50 pounds in that time, but I learned something even more valuable. When you commit to a process instead of an outcome, when you show up day after day without obsessing over the final result, you become someone who does what they say they're going to do. And if you're going to bet on yourself, there's nothing more powerful than proving you're good for your word. So after that transformation, I was hooked on this concept. I started a little mastermind with some women from my transformation group. We called it Pivot. And I was so naive back then. I didn't really know what the term mastermind meant in terms of business things. I heard that word and I thought, oh, that sounds cool. I'm going to make a mastermind. We're literally going to learn how to master our minds. That's totally my jam. And I shared my vision with those women back then. My vision of making a reality show following 8 women around for a year, 8 bets, 8 transformations, like that golf show, Full Swing on Netflix, where they follow the PGA players around for a year and you kind of see who makes it and who biffs it. But this would be for personal growth, right? Our personal goals. That's what this is. Except right now, it's just me. 1 woman, 1 microphone, 1 bet. And if I want to see progress, I'm in the perfect position because I've got nowhere to go but up. Who doesn't love an underdog story? But this one isn't scripted. This is real. I do not have a Hollywood production crew handing me storylines. This is my actual life. So not long after Pivot, I started working on Memo, my private podcast. I committed to do 2 episodes a week for a year. I didn't know if I could hack it, but I said I can do it for 1 year. I sat at my kitchen table cataloging all the ways it might fail. What if I ran out of ideas? What if I got tired of doing it? What if people wanted to cancel? What if my mom somehow found it? I started out with just 4 episodes in the bank, and I told myself you can figure out the rest as you go. And now, 170 episodes later, it's truly the heartbeat of my business. But I was keeping it hidden. I am keeping it hidden. It is behind a paywall, very safe from judgment. So when that voice on my walk asked why are you hiding the thing you love most? I realized every bet I've made on myself has worked. Every time I've trusted my instincts over conventional wisdom, it has led me somewhere better. But I've been playing it safe with the thing that matters most, which is my actual work. So this podcast, The Bet, is different from anything else out there. I'm not going to give you another personal development pep talk. I am here to actually show you what happens when you treat your mind like software that can be upgraded. Every human brain runs on a default operating system, programming that was installed when we were born and shaped when we were young, designed to keep us very safe, but fairly small. You cannot delete this programming. Trust me, I've tried, but you can absolutely upgrade it. I call this cognitive engineering. Your mind constantly runs programs in the background, programs about what you're capable of, what you deserve, what's possible for you. And most of those programs are outdated. They are running on fears and limitations that made a whole lot of sense when you were 7, but they are completely irrelevant to your life now. When you notice yourself thinking, I'm not ready, I can't do that, that's too much, it's just old code running. So what we're going to do together in this podcast is interrupt those programs, install new code, and activate a completely different way of being. We're going to catch the limiting beliefs, the doubts, the resistance, the fear. We're going to debug them and then install new code that moves us forward. I say we, but I'm going to be the one doing this because you're going to see the results in real time as I take you through my life through the next year. I cannot believe I'm doing this. So here's how this is going to work. Twice a week, I show up here. On Tuesdays, you're going to get longer episodes like this one where I document what's actually happening in real time. The messy parts of building something from pure energy. The celebrations, the doubts, the breakthroughs, the moments I want to quit, all of it. And Fridays, you're going to get mini memo drops. These are 5 to 10 minute episodes designed to interrupt a specific mental pattern and give you something you can use immediately. Think of them as instant software updates for your brain. And I'm well aware I won't have the luxury of mapping out all my episodes in advance like I did with this one. This is going to be real time. So I'm going to get very comfortable with having to go commando. No script, no safety net, just whatever needs to be said in the moment. But here's what makes this a true experiment. I am not promoting this podcast at all. I have no agenda for this podcast. I haven't even told one single soul that I'm doing this. Not one person knows. I'm not sitting here asking you to rate and review it. I'm not going to be reminding you to follow the show. I want this to be as meta as it gets. I am the scientist and I'm the experiment. I'm going to be literally using every tool I teach, and hopefully I'll be creating some new ones to break through new barriers for myself. Cognitive engineering, interrupting my default patterns, upgrading my mental software, and I'm doing it all while you listen. When I tell you about resistance, it's going to be because I'm facing it hard. When I share a breakthrough, it's because it just happened. When my old operating system tries to sabotage this whole experiment, you will watch me catch it and debug it in real time. Because that's the only way this experiment works, with complete transparency. You're not here for theories or success stories or retrospectives from 5 years ago. You're witnessing someone betting everything on an idea and then documenting what actually happens. No safety net, no editing out the messy parts, just the truth of building something from pure energetic alignment. Now, here's something else I need you to know. I'm coming into this deeply suspicious of all of this energetic alignment creates 7 figures BS. I know that these people who are touting that are running ads in the background and funnels. And these are women who have been building a business for many years, probably hustling, all while preaching about manifestation. And I think We like that story because we all want to buy the thing we want to be true. But I'm actually going to test it for real. So this isn't me promising that pure energy works. This isn't me saying I'm not going to change the rules if I feel pulled to pivot. If 3 months in, the voice tells me start that email sequence, I might do it. What I am promising is complete transparency. Every week, I'm going to show up to tell you exactly what's happening. Think of it like a public weigh-in, except instead of standing on a scale, I'll be reporting business metrics, downloads, revenue, and whether this whole trust the universe thing is actually working. I'm doing this because it sounds kind of fun to me and also terrifying. Because even though this is literally the worst possible time, new semester, new course, life is chaos, something in me really wants to know, can you actually build something real just by being real? Or is that just another story we tell ourselves because the truth is too hard to swallow? I'm willing to bet that if I show up here in the most authentic way possible, it will create something truly magnetic. Something that speaks to the part of you that's tired of surface level transformation. That's not what I'm about. I am not here just to see how big I can grow this. Although, let's be clear, I'm writing a huge energetic check on this puppy. I am here to attract the humans who are speaking my language, the humans I can actually help. I know that sounds either completely delusional or maybe like the most brilliant strategy ever. And honestly, I'm not sure which one it is, but we are all going to find out. This is part podcast, part reality show, part business case study. You're getting a front row seat to either my greatest triumph or a giant crash and burn. But either way, it's going to be worth watching. Look, we've been taught that success comes from forcing our way forward, from hustling and doing what it takes, from posting more, engaging with everyone, optimizing everything. But what if we have been doing it backwards? What if the real secret is to stop chasing and to start generating such a strong signal that people can't help but tune in? What if the ultimate strategy is to be so authentic that reality has no other option than to reorganize itself around you, for you? Because I've tried all the hard ways. I am not a traditional manifestation coach, although I do work with energetics and identity mapping. I teach at a university. I believe in science and data and evidence, but I also know that everything I've achieved that actually matters came from trusting something deeper than strategy. Every transformation started with a voice that said, "What if you have been wrong? Are you really going to let this belief you have stop you from having what you want?" Every time I've listened to that voice, even when it made no logical sense, it has led me somewhere extraordinary. And on that morning walk a few weeks ago, the voice got loud. She said, "Stop hiding. Stop adding noise when you could be a damn signal." So that's what I'm doing. If you're still listening, thank you. Thank you. I think it's because something about what I'm doing here resonates with something inside of you. Maybe you're also tired of consuming personal development content that doesn't actually change anything. Maybe you're exhausted from trying to force yourself into boxes that have been built for a different product. Or maybe, like me, you just know there has to be another way. Whatever brought you here, you've landed at the beginning of something. Episode 1 of a year-long experiment that's either going to revolutionize how I think about building a business or prove I've lost my mind. But here's what I know for sure. The future version of you is waiting on the other side of whatever bet you're afraid to make right now. That version is waiting for you to trust the voice that's been trying to get your attention. And here's the thing, 1 year from now, We'll see how this all works out. Maybe this is season 1 and done. Maybe I'll be sitting here 12 months from now going, well, that was interesting, but at least we documented it. Or maybe by season 2, I'll have those 8 women. Maybe this little experiment becomes the proof of concept for that reality show vision I had years ago. 8 women, 8 bets, 8 transformations, all happening in real time. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Right now, it's just me. Season 1. 1 year, no script, no second takes. Welcome to the bet. Let's see what the universe's algorithm has in store for us.